Next in the type of number formatting is the currency number format. Since we are trying to enter the maximum retail price of the books we have in our bookstore, it's appropriate to enter them as currency format. So we already have them in the number format, so we can easily change it to the currency number format. I have selected cells D1 to D5, and you can see here that they are in number format, and I can change them to currency. I can either go this way and then choose currency here, and you can see a preview how it will display if I choose this currency option. So let's say I choose currency, and immediately you can see that there is a dollar symbol that appears before my numbers. And because dollar is the default currency I have in this installation of Excel in this computer, it automatically assigns dollar. But if you're using a different installation or in a different country, you probably will see the default currency in your computer. But these things can easily be changed. I can use Control 1 to open up the Format Cells dialog box. You can also open by clicking this little arrow here in the number area in the home ribbon. I'm using the keyboard shortcut to open it. And you can see here that the currency is the number format that is chosen for this cell because we just now applied it to all these 5 cells. And this is very similar to the number format that we studied just recently, but there are a few differences. You can see the preview here again as we change these things. If I change this to 3 decimal places, but remember that it was 3 decimal places before, but as soon as I applied the currency format, it went to the default 2 decimal places for the currency. And you can control that by changing it. Let's say I want to change it to 3 decimal places, and I can change the currency here by choosing, for example, I'm going to choose English India. Indian rupee will be the symbol that will be used. And I have control over how the negative numbers will be displayed, but I don't have any control over whether I want to have a comma separator, because the currency format by default, you will have the comma in the thousand separator, but for the number format, you have that as an option, but here you don't have that as an option. Now you can control how the negative numbers are displayed, either with a negative symbol, either with a red font, or with a negative symbol after the currency symbol. And also you can choose the negative symbol after the currency and the red colored font. This is how you can control the way the currencies are displayed in your worksheet. And I'm going to click OK here. And you can see here that the 3 decimal places are now handled and they are displayed in 3 decimal places. Now let's say I want to go back to 2 decimal places. I don't have to go through the dialog box again. There is a shortcut here where you can increase and decrease the decimal places just by clicking here. So if I want to decrease the decimal places, I can use this, and this will reduce the decimal places. And you can see that as I'm changing or as I'm decreasing the decimal places, the numbers are going to get rounded, which means the 599.9 now has become 600.0. If I want to increase it back, and you can see that I get back the original number, and that is because Excel, when you change the decimal places here by using these shortcuts, you're actually not changing the data. You're just changing how it's displayed. And I am repeating this many times, and because this is a very important concept to understand, the data is not changing, only the display of the data is changing. So please keep that in mind. And for 599.95, you can see that it's actually 599.95. Even when I decrease the decimal places, it shows up as 600, but it's actually 599.95. So I will put it back to 2 decimal places. That's how we would like to have these maximum retail prices. The last thing I want to cover here is that these cells, all the cells in this worksheet, they are not linked automatically. And so you can have multiple number formats in the same column. For example, I can choose the cells here and apply a completely different number format other than the currency. Keep in mind that all of these cells are not linked by anything. You can use this worksheet in completely different ways, even if it's in the same column or same row. Excel allows us to do that.